We never get to it all, so here we are. Overpromised.
Getting situated. Welcome to our brand new after show called Overpromised with Covion Rich, brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm Steve Covino. That's Blubber Lips Davis, everybody, because he overpromises so much we can't fit it into our 2-hour show.
Having too much damn fun, Charlie Murphy.
Having so much fun. So one thing I was talking about on our Fox Sports Radio show today that I got to bring up again before we get into this baseball challenge that Rich believes in. He thinks he would do better than me, better than you.
Well, it's a hypothetical, and it has to do with your skills.
And Bert Kreischer posted what might be the worst pick and worst first pitch ever. So we're going to talk Bert in a second, so stick around. But got to talk about the game tonight. I'm a Yankees fan. Don't hold that against me. I'm a nice guy. Nice to meet you.
Oh, 27 rings.
But
not this year.
They're looking to win a game. They're looking to win a game, but they're looking to lose 10 in a row tonight. They've lost 9 in a row, which sounds unbelievable. I'm a Yankees fan. I can't even believe this. I keep telling people they stink. They're like, they're not that bad. Relax. 9 in a row. They haven't lost 9 in a row since 1982. And if they lose 10 in a row tonight with their quote unquote number 2 on the mound, it's the first time that they've done that since before World War I, I believe.
I'm looking it up right now. President was Woodrow Wilson. You know who was on the Yankees in 1913, by the way? I don't even know if you know any of these guys because none of them are legends.
I don't know. Ebenezer something?
Ed Sweeney. John Roy Hartzell.
Yeah, no, I wasn't.
Bertie Cree.
I wasn't watching in 1913. But Severino's going tonight. He's 2-8.
What happened to that guy?
I don't know. He fell off a cliff. He's terrible. He's got just about an 8 ERA, 7.98. He's going against Gore, starter of the Nationals. He's 6-9.
I think the Yankees would lose if they were going against Frank Gore.
Yo, seriously.
The former football player.
I'm wondering, because we're sponsored by DraftKings, you putting some flow on this? Does this give you reason to watch the Yankees? Do you want to see them lose 10 in a row? Because honestly, even though I'm rooting for them, there's a part of me that just, you know what? Let's just see it. Let's just see the disaster. Let's just see this happen. Let's just see them lose 10 in a row. They stink. They're not going anywhere.
Before I get into the bet to make tonight with DraftKings, how does a guy go from 2-time All-Star? He won 19 games only a couple of years ago. An ERA in the 2s, and now he's 2-8 with a 7.98 ERA.
He's battled injuries, just never amounted to what he was supposed to be. We're talking about Luis Severino, and I imagine he's rolling his sleeves up today saying, all right, let's make history. Let's go 10 in a row. Les Miserables. So I would put my money on that. The Yankees losing. I don't see a win in their future. They're that bad.
Was that your John Travolta quote? Remember at the Academy Awards?
Yeah.
Les Miserables.
No, it's like, if we could see chemistry, think about it. You could see chemistry in love and relationships, friendships. Yeah. If you could see and feel chemistry on a winning team, you could see and feel the opposite. A relationship takes on a life of its own, and no matter what you do to fix it, it's still crappy. That's the Yankees. They lost it. It's the opposite of chemistry. They got the ick. And again, if you want to see what a bad team looks like, tune in as they go for 10 losses in a row tonight. I just can't even believe it.
Now, I have the bet to make if you want it.
Okay, let's hear it.
This makes sense to me. So if you're involved and you want to do a little DraftKings action tonight,
man.
The Yankees, see, they're minus 148 to win 100. Mm-hmm. I don't want to bet on the Yankees because I want to see this magical loss happen. So right now, the Nats...
Honestly, it's the only reason to watch.
The Nats are plus 124. You're playing the Nationals. Nats plus 124. Now, my Mets have looked decent lately, but they're not going to beat the Braves again. So the Braves are 198 money line. So you got Nats money line 124.
Yeah.
Plus 124. Braves minus 198. And rounded out with Clayton Kershaw winning tonight. Dodgers are playing Cleveland. They're minus 225. So if you get Yankees to lose,
which is history in the making.
Mets to lose.
Okay.
And the Dodgers, who are hot, to win against Cleveland at home. It's
I'm in.
100 wins 386.
Let's go. Get involved. DraftKings. Now, speaking of baseball, it brings us to this challenge that Rich overpromised. Okay, that's what he does. I don't know why he does it, but he does, and now we feel the obligation to
You know what it's like?
continue here on this show.
You know what it's like? I know
what it's like. It's like you're uncontrollable. You just yap.
Well, no, I think it's sort of like, you know how someone's wife or girlfriend, no offense, ladies, will be doing their hair 10 minutes before the dinner reservation. And you're like, how do you think we're going to make it to the restaurant?
It's you're overly ambitious.
The reservation's at 7 o'clock.
Right.
It's 6:52 and you're doing your makeup?
Right.
We're not going to make it.
It's kind of like that.
We start our show, and as I'm rattling off the fifth thing, in my mind, I'm like,
fit it all in.
I don't think I could do this.
Gonna fit it all in.
No.
Well, thankfully we have this now.
All right. Well, hey, there was a meme I saw, and that's how I get most of my news. Don't act like you don't.
I get my jokes and my news courtesy of memes. So it has to be true.
I saw this meme, and it said, how much money would you make? And I thought this is great. It was, if you have 10 at-bats against Major League Baseball pitching, a foul tip gets you $100. If you hit the ball in play, $1,000. Base hit, 10 grand. Home run, $1 million. How much money are you walking away with?
I thought about this now.
10 at-bats, not 10 swings, 10 ABs.
10 at-bats. So that's a minimum of 30 pitches, right? 30 strikes.
Yeah, minimum, yeah.
3 strikes, you're out. That's a minimum, right? You take a few, get your timing down.
Unless you put it in play and then you won. So, yeah. So, minimum misses 30.
30, because 10 at-bats, 10 ABs. I thought about this.
Good math.
You know, we always say, don't let your ego be your amigo. Ego's not your amigo, but sometimes your ego gives you that false confidence, like, yo, I used to play. I got some game. Let's go. But I really had to, because at first I'm like, I could definitely put a few in play. But when that heat, that cheese is coming at you, and Rich, you know cheese. No. Cheesiest guy I know.
You're not doing it.
You got, and the pressure involved, right? Because you're there, you're like, oh, I'm going to win some money. You factor in all those things, you got to be realistic about it. So we challenge you to think. Put that cap on. How much money are you making in this situation?
Sweet thinking, Cap. So if you look at the graphic, foul tip, hundo, ball in play, 1,000. See, a base hit's going to be arbitrary luck, right? You might sneak one through a little 5-6 hole. You might bloop one right center, like, oh, couldn't get around on the ball. I'm going to say your best strategy here.
What if you go yard? I mean, Bartolo Colon went yard.
I'm pretty confident I could go yard, batting practice, 60 miles an hour, just taking rips.
But what if it was just like a lucky moment? You never know. Sometimes the gods smile upon you, and they're like, give him one. The guy struggled. Give him just
$1 million. All right. Yeah. My best approach, I don't think you even try to get a base hit.
Right.
Spot, hit me up with the graphic one more time.
I got a realistic answer.
Because in play is what, 1,000? Yeah, ball in play 1,000.
And it all depends on what level of athlete you are, right? I mean, everybody has some confidence, or at least you should. Everybody played maybe at one point in their life. How good are you is a factor here.
I think I'm walking away with $7,000. And I'll tell you why.
7,000.
I'll tell you why.
I mean, talk about overly. We already explained he's overly ambitious. I think you're out of your mind.
I'll tell you why.
$7,000.
I think if you got the balls enough, you're not some little wimpy wimp.
Good one.
We could say whatever we want here, right?
Yeah.
You're not a little bitch. I think you could square up to bunt. Now, you may not want to do this against someone throwing 100 miles an hour.
Right.
But if you square up to bunt, you're going to have 3 times each at bat to just lay one down. It could be a shitty bunt right back to the pitcher. It could be a dribbler.
Do you know how scared you're going to be to square up? You hear the sizzle. The seams are going. You hear that sizzle. And then you hear that pop. You hear that pop of the glove. You think you're going to be able to square up? Don't you ask yourself, how do big leaguers not know how to lay down a bunt?
It's not easy.
Because when it's zipping in at 100+ miles per hour, it's not that easy. $7,000.
So
I would bet against this
10
guy.
10 at-bats.
Again, hold on. For people that don't know, Rich still does play Sunday softball. So, yeah, I mean, you have to factor that in.
You got to factor that in.
No, but you know what? You are more active and you are swinging a bat more than most people.
Yeah, even though it is softball, I
Right.
guess you could say it's still more active than a guy that hasn't touched a bat in a decade, right?
Me. I mean, I haven't played in forever.
I'm going to say swinging a softball bat gives you no advantage in swinging, but the fact that you're involved every week, right? I think squaring around to bunt, I'm giving myself a little too much credit. I'd like to think at least half of the at-bats. Because even if you miss a bunt, you still have 2 more. So you're going to have 30 chances.
What if the sting is so severe? Like you're not laying one down.
30 pitches.
What if they're throwing at you? You know what a pitcher's if you don't know, once you square, a pitcher's instinct is to go high
And tight.
tight. You're going to be like, yeah, let's go. Psst, picture that. 7 G's. Crazy person right here. But hey, I like the confidence. I was being realistic about
Well,
it.
if you swing away, here's my thought. You swing away, I think you're all full of shit and you're all delusional if you think that off of major league pitching, just because you played high school or college ball, you get in that batter's box. I've seen guys like Stanton, who's batting 200 now, under 200. Guys that are home run champions have just swung aimlessly through 3 pitches in a row, looking lost at the plate. Spot, what do you think you could do?
I have confidence actually in the two of you, not myself, but I think that you could each get a base hit at least. One base hit out of 10 at-bats.
Base hit?
One. I think you
Batting 100.
two are walking away.
With professional fielders or little leaguers?
I'm going to say
No one in the field.
That's in play.
are walking away. I say one base hit, so that's 10 grand. I'm going to say 8 foul tips.
8 foul
And
tips.
one
I'm battling,
ball in
huh?
play. So you're going to make $11,800
Dude,
each.
I love your confidence.
Spot, thank you for backing us up. Again, I played at a very low college level, but I was a really great high school player, just to give it reference. And I think we're really underestimating the heat and the intensity in which a professional big league pitcher throws at.
I think bunting is your best shot because if you're swinging away, sliders, breaking balls, fastballs, knuckleball. There's no way you, as a guy that doesn't play ball, could get in the batter's box and make contact. It's awfully ambitious. Here's the question, though. I'm going to switch it up for a second.
Are curves and knuckles and sliders, are those?
Of course.
They're all part of it? Okay.
Yeah, you're effing dunzo in the box.
Okay.
Let me switch it to basketball a second because I want to know your strategy. Meaning, if this were baseball, we've talked about, well, you could try to foul a few off for $100. Laying down a bunt in play, 1,000. So do you say, shit, I'm going to swing away. Hopefully I get a base hit, 10 grand. Or do you say, I can make a few thousand if I just bunt a couple dribblers? If I told you basketball, switch it up. Full arena, glass backboard, a little different than the gym, right?
Perception's a little
Perception,
off.
the crowd's there. If I said you had 30 seconds, every layup is $100. Every 3-pointer is 1,000. Are you taking the easy money by doing layup, or are you spotting up?
Spotting up. Yeah, I'm taking my chances there.
So if
but
you would
again, you know
spot
what
up
you
in
gotta
the
factor?
NBA
You got to factor in the pressure situation. Is there a crowd there? But still, money's on the line, right? You might need the money. There's so much pressure involved. So you could be really good, but under the pressure, you fall short. So in basketball, I'm going for those 3 points. Now, to give you my answer, I was being a little more realistic about it. I thought about it, $1,400. I figured a minimum of 30 pitches, 10 at-bats, 3 strikes an at-bat. I figured that I got 1 ball in play once I got my timing down.
It could be a ground. You can roll over a ball to the shortstop.
1 ball in play. So that was $1,000. And this is minimum 30 pitches. So I'm swinging, missing, missing. I'm like, you're getting in that sort of zone, trying to figure out the timing. You're doubting yourself. You're going through all these emotional roller coasters. You're going to be in your head.
You said one thing that I already disagree with: timing. You get a timing down at the batting cage. You don't get a timing down when Max Scherzer's on the mound.
It's different, but you're still working on your timing. You're still figuring it out. So I'm saying, at least I'm being real about this. I'm saying 1 ball in play, not a single, not a frozen rope into the gap. I'm talking 1 ball in play. That's $1,000 I got in this challenge, and I fouled off. And doesn't even need to be tipped it. I fouled off 4. And probably 2 of those are out of desperation. I'm playing a little pepper action. So if you choke up and you pepper the ball and you're not taking a full hack, you can make contact. I believe in that.
Can I tell you
It'll
something?
help your timing. So I'm saying humbly, And that's unlike me to be this humble. I'm saying $1,400 realistically if this challenge came to be. If we ever get, and you know what? We know some people. You think Joe Beimel, who listens to our show, former MLB pitcher, you think he would say, yeah, I think Rich would make, what did you say, $7,000? You're out of your mind.
I think I could get the ball in place 7 times. But you know what? Realistically, though, if you want the truth, the more I think about it, I am letting my ego be my amigo. Because if you want to know the truth, I think you, me, most people listening, I don't care if you played high school ball, college ball in your 20s. I think not having played baseball for a good decade or so, I think 10 at-bats, you might not touch the ball. I'm being serious.
Like, what sort of Captain Caveman bat? What sort of club were you using in your fantasy?
I genuinely
Rich came with that big red wiffle bat that little kids use.
Yeah, the big poofy one.
Rich came with that big red bat. Look, I was being realistic about it. Most people haven't even swung a wooden bat before.
Yeah. Now, you know what? I'm thinking about it more and more. Professional baseball players are told, just put the ball in play to move the runner over. Just lay a bunt down, and they can't do it.
They can't even do it.
Why do I think I could do it in a challenge?
So, again, I'm saying, I thought about this, and
I'm moving along. I think, you know what? I'm overconfident.
I'm imagining 2 nips, like, tips, ooh. And then I'm like, well, screw it. I'm going to pepper this, so I get 2 little pepper actions, and then I get one ball in play.
You're peppering off of...
I'm like Barry. I was great at pepper, bro. Bah, bah, bah. So then I get one ball in play, $1,400. That's all I'm getting out of a big league pitcher. That's my answer.
DraftKings.
What's yours?
DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm betting against the Yankees tonight.
Okay.
But if you in the box against Severino, I don't think you would touch the ball. The more I think about it.
ERA is an 8. I think I actually might have a chance. I might have a shot.
Severino,
and by the way, think
grand.
of our expectations, dude. There's guys on the Yankees that are on the interstate barely over 200. Like, they're not hitting the way they used to. A lot of us, regular people, regular fans, do think, man, I could hit something. I could hit 170 in the bigs. Chances are you probably can. But you do expect them to do a little better than that.
Since you and I have joked about our abilities playing sports as kids compared to now, there was that other meme that was floating around where you read the comments on social media and people are so delusional. It was, do you think you could... I think one of them was, do you think you could pass for a positive yard in the NFL? Which I think is possible. One of them was, can you hit a shot in the NBA? I think that's possible. The one that I don't think anyone could do, one of them was, can you score a point in tennis?
No. Off of a professional player? No way.
No how.
You would not be able to return the 120 mile per hour serve. Not at all. So, hey, maybe that's a conversation for another day. Again, welcome to Overpromised with Covion Rich. Discussions that usually Rich, I mean, we all do it, overpromised. We've all overpromised at least once in our life, right?
Of course.
Rich does it like 5, 6, 7 times a week.
Well, hey, want to remind you, DraftKings, college football fans, college football starts this Saturday, so no more running to Home Goods and Home Depot. Football Saturday. A lot of the games, all the big-time teams are favored by like 30 or 40. So I got to figure out what college bet I'm going to do, but I have an NFL futures bet I want to go over in a little bit. But college football fans, DraftKings Sportsbook is hooking you up with a can't-miss offer to start the season. New customers, you could bet just $5 on college football and score $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Anything could happen in college football. The only thing that's a lock is the great offers from DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code OVERPROMISED. That's this show, OVERPROMISED. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on college football. That's code OVERPROMISED only on DraftKings Sportsbook.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-777 or visit ccpg.org.
Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility. Terms and responsibilities. Responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. There's not an R in there. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Again, we're Covion and Rich. Overpromised.
I bet the money line that you would mess that up. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, man, it's hard. You know what? I got to get... Hold on a second.
It's got readers.
Hold on a second. Maybe I should bust out these bad boys right here. They're not mine. Someone sent them to me.
I know.
Said I need them.
Yeah, because every time we read, you're like, look at this. New readers?
So anyway, hey, maybe we'll put that Major League Challenge to the test in one of our future reads, one of our future shows. What do you think?
I don't think they're you.
We'll get a big leaguer here to pitch against us, see what we can do. You know what? That's another factor. If I'm hitting off a big league pitcher, like, do I got to get my eyes checked first? Right?
Like, Wild Thing from Rick Vaughn?
Yeah, seriously.
I think I should wear those.
Yo, man, I swear, I'm seeing. You feel like your timing's right, but you're just not seeing right?
I'm not seeing it.
I'm not seeing the seams. Anyway, we got to, speaking of baseball, talk about our buddy, not to name drop, but Bert Kreischer's been on the show a few times.
Yeah.
He listens to us here and there. He posted a picture recently on social media, and he said, "This is my rock bottom."
Yeah.
Rock bottom.
And
Eminem style.
It was a picture of Bert throwing out a first pitch at a Cleveland Guardians game earlier this year. And it's not flattering. I think just the photo puts this in the worst first pitch category. And I'm not busting his balls. I mean, Bert's our dude.
I mean, he posted
But he posted it, and he said that is now his motivation.
his inspiration.
He said he is not drinking until he goes from 270 down to 230. And Spot, he posted a video of he has that printed out in his home gym because he hates that picture so much. There he is, Bert Kreischer.
You just gotta find
Pumping it up.
And for me, it was that first pitch.
He's not drinking again until he hits a certain weight goal.
By the way, Bert's pretty strong, man. Look at him.
September 14th, I promise you this, I will not be fat. I made that promise too early. Charlotte, Atlanta, Greenville.
He's doing his tour, so he's promising everything.
All right, well.
Kansas City, Dallas, Houston, Anaheim.
Good for you,
San
Bert.
Jose,
Hey, whatever motivates you.
and San
But
Diego, 2:30.
it was a first pitch in Cleveland,
Yeah.
and what was that, a few months ago?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, man. Now, him with his belly out is sort of his trademark look. He's known for doing that. But even he saw that and said, now that's a little too much. And he's a guy that lost some weight. Remember him and Tom Segura, comedian, they went on this challenge and they lost a bunch of weight a few years back, gained it all back. And he's like, I got to do something different. Now, I got to say that everybody has a picture that haunts them. And if that's what motivates you, then good.
What picture bothers you so much? It could be a family photo. It could be
Well,
your
here's a few rules, though, Rich. While people think about that, can we also say to our friends and family, like, if you look like crap in a picture, do you have to post it and do you have to tag that person on social media? Like, I don't need to see that because you think you look good. I look terrible. Stop with that.
That's
Stop
not up to you.
Yeah, but I don't like it. I don't play by those rules. So
what
I
are they
tell
supposed to
people,
do,
like,
not
yo,
post it?
you got to post. Can you take me out of that? Can you untag me? I don't like it. I don't want that. I feel like it's a little much, a little overboard, to be
all right,
honest.
I'll say this. I think you could untag yourself because you're like, yeah, I don't want people seeing that.
I don't like that.
I don't think you could. Honestly, it's a dick move. If you would, you're a grown man. Imagine you said
You're a
to your
grown
buddy,
man, you got to post it because you think you look cute. Like, how lame could you
let's
be?
say you go. Let's say
Like,
you go.
everyone
to,
else looks fat and their eyes are closed, but I look good, so I'm going to
I'm
post
saying
it.
if you go to a football game, a concert with some of your buds, imagine this. Imagine calling your friend. Yo, what's going on? Hey, John, what's going on? Yeah, I got a weird thing. You know, I know you posted that picture of us at the concert last week. Can you like untag me because I look fat? Like that? Come on.
Well, like I said,
It's unflattering.
If it motivates you, then it's a good thing because, again, not to name drop, but it's what we do. Our very first broadcast out here in Los Angeles, when we moved from the East Coast to LA, was at Henry Winkler's house. Henry Winkler, Uncle Henry is what I call him.
Fonz.
Yeah, I think he saw a lot of Fonz in me.
I don't think
He's
so.
like,
I don't think so.
you're like the Mexican Fonz.
I don't think he saw that.
Yeah, I think he said that.
Nope.
And I don't know, just through the years of doing radio, he's like, when you guys come.
By the way, I think you've convinced yourself he said that.
About Mexican Fonz?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, I made that up.
No, but I think in your mind, you think he said it. Because
In
you
my
said it so many
fantasy,
times. Like,
yeah. In your fantasy, you
he
could hit
does.
off a big leaguer. In my fantasy, Henry was like, hey, let me tell you something, Cunningham. That's the real Fonz right there. And he pointed at me.
Yeah.
But he did say, truthfully, when you make it to L.A., remember when he talked to Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
You have a spot at my table. He said to us, you could do a show at my house. We're like, really? And we did.
And I'll be honest, we weren't even that aggressive about it.
No.
We hit him up one time like, hey, we're moving to LA. Maybe we could do our first show. He's like, at my house?
Yeah, it was amazing. Right now, in that moment, we're all having fun. He's like, I brought bagels. He brought bagels for us. True story.
Spread.
And he's like, have a seat. And I'm in the middle of eating a bagel. I'm serious. I'm like,
Sure, that's it.
And Spot's like, smile, takes a picture, and it is the worst picture. It looks like I'm eating a mouthful of gabagool. Like, oh, and dude, this picture haunted me, but motivated me, as you could see. Show him, Spotty. There it is. Look at it. I look like a fat Robert De Niro. I don't know what's going on there, but this one. Then our listeners like inflated my head even more, talking about how fat I looked. But it looked like, see, this is years ago, and I was a lot trimmer. Like, that just looks like me now, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, is that maybe? People are like, wait a minute.
But at the time, this was a really bad photo of me. But they haunt you and they motivate you, and I share that with you. So Bert is he's kind of off the hook. We've all been there. If you use it for the greater good, then props to you to get in shape.
Now, the picture that bothers me.
So much going on in this photo.
Yeah, Henry and his dog.
Oh, the plates on his wall.
Rich had the time to pose.
Yeah.
The dog had the time to pose.
Dude, I swear to God, I'll never forget this.
Yet you
I'll never forget it.
were not with it enough to know that everyone else was taking a photo.
Some of you know this story. Some of you don't, right? New people listening to Overpromised, our new after show. Thank you. I'm eating bagels, and I see Henry come up with his dog. And I'm looking at Henry and his dog's got his hand. I remember looking at his paws on the table. And as I'm eating, I turn around and then the picture's thing and there you go. That was it.
Beautiful.
So again, it haunted me, but it forced me to lose weight, which clearly I guess I gained a little. Thanks, guys.
That looks like a pretty standard picture of you.
But look at this. The buttons were ready to burst out there. But relax there, rock god who thinks he's awesome.
I think
I get it off Big Leaguer.
My embarrassing photo that I wish would go away, Bert Kreischer style, is a photo at the Sirius XM studio when we were doing our show at SXM. We had Dee Snider of Twisted Sister on the show. And you know how it goes. After the show, hit the commercials. Hey, let's take a picture. Now, when we went to take the picture, I got mixed messages at the same time. And I got my wires got crossed up. Someone said, all right, smile. And then someone at the same time said, no. Make a badass face and do rock horns.
Again, you know what? You interrupted my story. I feel like you have this fantasy that ever happened. Like we discussed the pose.
It was up. No,
Get out of here. Rich was just being a cheese weenie and got caught in the cheese weenie moment.
Someone said,
No
smile.
one said anything.
Someone said, smile.
Someone said, all right, I'm 3, and you posed like this.
Someone said, smile. Someone said, all right, come on. It's Twisted Sister, rock horns. So I was like, do I smile? Do I do rock horns? Like, yeah, badass. I got twisted up, and I did a combination of the two.
I mean, have you seen a cheesier guy? I'm not saying I'm looking hard, but, I'm sort of owning the moment with one of my heroes.
By the way,
Dee
did you
Snider.
forget to shave a spot on your chin there? Soul patch? What the hell's going on with you there?
That's when the soul patch was a thing, man. I had soul. Look at that. Why you hate? Don't try to deflect and take attention off your goofiness there. That's the most unrocking photo I've ever seen in my life. It's Rich throwing up rock horns, but like rock horns at a Jonas Brothers concert or something. I don't know. At Taylor Swift.
Rock on, Joe Bros.
So again, this picture haunted Rich. And he's like, I want it to go away, much like Bert Kreischer's photo.
Well,
and that also poses one more question. Because of what this means for Bert, right? This picture that's gone viral, even though it was a few months ago, he reposted it on his social media saying this is his motivation. Is it up there as far as worst pitches? Like worst pitches? Because there's always that conversation of 50 Cent, Baba Booey. these worst pitches.
Mariah was up there.
Yeah.
There's been a couple bad ones. I think because he's owning it, it's like that whole trick where like if you own it, people don't bust your balls anymore. It's like a nickname. If you hate a nickname, what will people do? Call you that nickname. So I think Bert's pulling the right approach. So, hey, your pictures, if you want to share them, I don't know why you would want to, but if you want to play along, at Covion Rich, that picture that haunts you. I'm trying to think, Spot. Is there one of you? What's the one of Spot? Oh, Spot, is it the one where you're dressed like a turkey?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, sometimes it's a picture that you see.
I'm not going to show it.
Like we had a former intern, right? And he knew he was a bigger guy.
Yeah.
But we had a guest on our show. It was Olivia Munn. We had Olivia Munn on the show. And he's like, dude, I got to get a picture with Olivia. I'm a huge fan. And he said, I looked like such a monster slob next to the beautiful Olivia Munn that it inspired me to lose weight. Sometimes it's the picture that gets you motivated. So, you got to turn dilemmas into dilemonade. What sort of haunted you, inspired you to push and get ripped, get shredded.
Well, there you have it. The things we didn't get to on the FSR show. Thank you, Fox Sports Radio. Thank you, DraftKings.
So remember, 2 questions.
Thank you.
How many could you hit off of a major league pitcher if you had money on the line, right? And
7,000.
And the picture that haunted you. Let us know.
All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.
Thank you.